Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Bob Walters. He's Brett Grosso. This is Locked Up Sports Mets Extra Live. Brett, we got a rain out today. No game. They won yesterday. No game again today. They're going to do a double dip tomorrow. What's up? Welcome to the show,
Doesn't
Brett.
get rained out, though. We don't rain out the pregame show.
The show goes on. Listen, it was they won last night, right? They're coming off of their first bad couple games in about since August. It was their first series loss at Citi Field in 10 straight series. They lost to the Diamondbacks, a game, I was at the game. Soto hit 2 home runs. They wasted it. I think that's more important, though, that Soto hit those home runs because he came back. He got 2 hits yesterday, a double. I think we're in good. I think Soto's going to start to break out of this thing a little bit.
That double was ripped and set up that Alonso 2-run home run, which gets us a nice victory yesterday. Because that's what I was a little bit more worried about. Was it felt like a repeat, like a third in a row. We're going to get the same type of game where the Mets are close. They're 1 hit away from winning it, but they weren't going to get that hit. Like same thing that's happened, the last couple nights. But there you go, out of nowhere. Like we've been waiting for, Soto rips a double. Alonso with his home run like he's been doing all year, looking like the NL MVP that if he keeps it up, he may very well be. And you know what? We get a Mets victory last night, but it was definitely a tough little run. But they're not losing 9-0. They're losing games that they were mad that they didn't win,
Exactly. Listen, the pitching, I'm worried about the bullpen a little bit. The bullpen has not been as strong. It's starting to falter a little bit. The game I was at, they gave up a couple home runs, which is something they haven't really done. But you know what? The starting pitching has been incredible.
Well, Stanek had a rough week, and last night made up for it a little bit. Not that we needed him to be, anything special last night, but blew two saves in the 9th inning with Edwin Diaz sitting on the sidelines, doing whatever he's been doing for the last week and a half. Not really sure. He had, one leg was shorter than the other, and we never saw him again. So,
I think he doesn't want to burn him out. I think he doesn't want to burn him out. He's thinking late in the season. He doesn't want to put him out there and burn him out, for later in August or something where they need a game and he's just doesn't have it. I think that's what's going on.
You're gonna see him. You're gonna see him save 2 games tomorrow, and we're gonna see him burnt out. Watch, they're gonna bring him out for two of that doubleheader tomorrow. Let's just hope that we don't need to.
So doubleheader tomorrow, starting at 1 o'clock, 2:15 here, 1:15 in Central Time.
I believe it's 1. No, I believe it's 1 here. I believe they.
That's
moved
what I said.
it up.
1:15 here, 2:15. Right?
Oh yeah.
Oh no! It'd be 2:15 here.
No, exactly. I believe they moved it up. The original game time for the one game was supposed to be 2:15. I believe they moved it to 1:15. This is Eastern time, which makes it, like you said, 12:15. There. That being said, I guess it depends on what website I'm on, what time zone they're talking about.
Yeah, it just happened.
So good luck. Somewhere around 12 to 1 tomorrow.
Now it's good to now because of this. I think it's good, right? Rough night last night for Gary and Keith and SNY. Totally. If you didn't see it, Brett, you can fill them in on what's going on.
We know this. They are like the best in the business. Gary, Keith, and Ron, SNY crew. I post the booth, how they set up the winning hits all the time. It's like one of my favorite things. They had a rough night last night. Last night starts with, there's just a point where, one, it starts even further than we talked about, because Gelbs is there on the sideline. He's just coming back from Paris, and they do, the classic Gelbs on the sideline and St. Louis report. And Gary thinks that Gelbs' mic isn't working because Gary's not hearing him in his ear. But we all hear Gelbs, okay? And so Gelbs is talking, and Gary just starts interrupting him like we can't hear him and calling the game. So it's just, and he makes up for it. Okay, not a big deal. Next inning, out of nowhere, we're like, it's just Gary in the booth. And all of a sudden, Keith's just gone. Keith just leaves. And I'm not talking like it was not planned at all. And next thing you know, Keith goes on some St. Louis Hall of Fame thing, leaves for a solid inning plus. I don't know exactly what it worked out to be, but Gary just alone. All right. So we can deal with that stuff. Kind of funny. No big deal. All of a sudden, most important point of the game, the turning point. If you watch yesterday's Mets game, you know that the Mets are about to really didn't deserve to win that game. They ended up having an error handed right in front of them. It's a ground ball, perfect double play. Ball gets dropped by the first baseman. Mets score, great spot. No, Gary misses the whole.
They go in the commercial.
No, he missed the whole thing. Gary calls it as if he caught the ball. Double play completed. side retire, whatever, and they go and the music starts playing. Gary's looking at his scorebook like Keith is looking at his scorebook. They don't realize there's a man rounding third. The Mets tied the ball game. They have no clue. They catch it up after the whole thing's over. Kind of embarrassing. And let me tell you, like,
but Brett, we know from doing this, and as amateurish as this is, that
no,
stuff goes. Look, just now as I did it, I tried to put this thing on the bottom of the screen. It didn't come up because I didn't set it up before.
No.
I had to just do it right there. So like stuff happens, and on live television.
Yes. But
the problem is the talent on the air is supposed to be the ones that correct it, because it's usually the technical stuff going wrong. And they got
to be in his ear. It's almost like someone had to be in his ear, like it's still happening. Like you have to, you have to know that. You have to know that. So listen, you think it ended there? No. That wasn't the end of it. So Gary blows. They laughed about it. He said, we were just staring at our scorebook. First of all, they shouldn't be. And they blew it off. No big deal. Except for a couple innings later,
they spend too much time in their scorebooks. I disagree with that. With you, I think it's quick. I think they know it so quickly. I think Keith spends a lot of time with his head in the scorebook, but I think half the time he's not paying attention. But Gary, if you see those, I told you, if you see the calls with the booth camera. Yeah. And he'll be like, Mets win it. And then he'll immediately go down to his scorecard. So maybe it does spend too much time.
He's in there. No. It's something. And I like to score a good game. I know, that's a nice thing to do. It takes when you go do that, it's a little bit of effort. They do it all day, every day. He knows exactly how to score it. Like, for us, we're like, was that an 8? Like, was that a 7?
Yeah. Like, no, I know the numbers, but I don't. There were intricacies.
No. But we look up who caught it. Did the right fielder come? It's just like little
Yeah. You're right.
They definitely are very good at it, but it caught him this time. I'm sorry, that got him, and it didn't end there. So SNY, you think you were good, right? And everything's fine. That's it. Funny stuff. No. Next thing you know, they come back from commercial, and the Mets are up, but the ball's already in the air. Nimmo's hitting a home run. They missed the whole home run. They didn't see it off the bat. They got him, flying.
Was Gary calling it? Because I didn't see that.
Gary's calling it on the way. It was Gary. It was on the way.
Already calling it.
It was like, yeah. And how you kind of think it's one of those commercials? They're constantly showing the Lindor home run commercial and the Alonso one, and I didn't really realize it was live until it was Nimmo around on the bases, and I was like, oh, this is right now.
So they came back from break late is what happened. A lot of times that has to do with the commercials. They have to do them because if you screw up, I know this just from if you screw up a commercial, like if your company buys a commercial and we somehow screw it up, no sound or got cut short, we got to give you a make good. So they got to squeeze that in somewhere because I'm guessing the Mets sell all the ads. I'm guessing they're pretty good with selling the ads. You don't see too many promos, right, about Mets games coming up. That's the stuff that they don't sell. That's where they plug that in.
There's a pretty good match, but you're right. They have their allotted space for that, and they do repeat a lot, especially if you're watching online. Oh my Lord, they're the same exact ones over and over and over
because they don't sell as many. They could sell,
of course,
but
it's there. Oh, definitely. But it's. Listen, I understand it's part of the game.
Rough night. Listen, everyone's allowed to have a rough night.
Honestly, I'm sick of you making excuses for them.
Everyone's allowed to have a rough night. They had a rough day at work, right? Everyone's allowed to have a rough day. They're the best in the business.
Listen, they didn't have a one. They had a rough night all around. It was Keith gone for where I thought he was in the bathroom because they weren't even saying for a while. So I was like, oh, he's clearly in the bathroom.
So he didn't tell anybody that he was leaving work early.
They were shocked. They didn't know what was happening. Then they were like, Gelbs are going to you, and Gelbs is like, oh, cool. They're like really involving me. And then he realized that it's because Keith was gone. Is the only reason they cared. It was like a whole, it was bad. I'm telling you, like there was a whole thing between Gelbs and Gary last night about that, and it just did not. It was a rough night, man.
It was a rough night. Now,
maybe everybody's sick or
as
something.
As far as the telecast and the radio and stuff goes, there was recently we had the guy that the official score did his 1,000th game, I believe, or 2,000th game.
No. Like 5,000th consecutive.
No. That's what I'm getting to. Majkowski, who does the radio, has done 5,000 consecutive games.
Oh,
consecutive. That's out of control. And they did a thing on the radio where they had all the old people come back and say something about him, and they had Burkhardt and everybody. Yeah. Everybody came back, and even Mike Breen and all them, and they said something about it.
And it was
5,000
Gary,
games is
right?
outrageous. 30
Gary
years.
said he had worked. Yeah, Gary had worked with the Islanders
Yeah.
for what wasn't? Yeah, right.
No, Howie worked with him with the
Wasn't it?
Islanders.
Howie, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was listening to the game all week. I was like, oh
But
man,
5,000 is that's 30 years without missing a day of work, Brett. Like you shouldn't do that. To me, I don't think you should do that, right? Everybody needs a couple days off. You get sick time for a reason.
But the
take your days off.
problem is the problem is people get, if you hit a streak at a certain point, you would use, is that what you said to Cal Ripken if you were his manager? That you were Cal Ripken's manager, would have been, sorry, buddy, you're not in the lineup today.
Yeah, but Cal Ripken only plays half the year.
New sheriff in town.
Cal Ripken only plays 6 months. This guy does Islanders. He does everything on like when they were WFAN, now they're Odyssey. He does everything. So he's there. 5,000, and he's done 5,000 straight Mets games.
Yes. But like there hits a tipping point where there's no way you're breaking that streak. Like when you hit you didn't even realize you were in it. You didn't realize you were in it. You hit like 1,922. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I can't miss. I was going to take off. They're like, you didn't know you're only 78 away.
Because any doctor will tell you shouldn't work. Take your time off. And there's a lot of people in companies that don't do it. Like we work for the government, the city. Like I take my days. Okay, don't get me wrong. I take my days that are sick days. I take them off. I'm not letting them go to waste because it's not worth dying for a company or something like that because they'll replace you. Everybody has heard that. Everybody said that. But 5,000. I mean, is he married? Does he have kids? Was he missing? Is he missing graduations and concerts?
There's a reason he doesn't want to go home. Maybe that's the point, Bob. Maybe
he's got a girlfriend at work, right?
Maybe you're seeing this all wrong. Yeah,
his girlfriend's at work. Now now this is rain out. This is rain out talk, Brett. We're running. We don't have too much to talk on because the game got rained out. But the field, listen, the Mets. You got Alonso Player of the Month, Acuna Rookie of the Month.
Yeah, and Soto looking like he's going to be Mr. May. And it coming around where all of a sudden seeing him hit that thing so hard off the bat. One, I mean, the 2 home run game. We love that stuff. But he's hitting the ball now. He's seeing it a little bit better. You get that little swag back. But let me tell you, the guy you got on the screen right now, Acuna, that guy, that kid is good, man. I am just glad we got him up.
Can we get rid of? Can he be the everyday second baseman now already?
Yeah.
Right? Can we stop with O'Neill? No, he's not though. He's not. He's still platooning with O'Neill, with McNeil.
But McNeil's corner outfielder, center fielder, corner outfielder. Like where
second base? I went to all the games last night on homestand, and it was basically McNeil more than Acuna.
They moved him though from that one day. No, you're right. But after that one play, it's been outfield for McNeil. It's been all outfield. And then you watch. Let me see. You know what the biggest play this week was? The biggest thing that happened. The reason, and we could talk about the Alonso home run and how Soto's doing and all this other stuff. It's Mendoza coming in and bringing Tyrone Taylor in and for McNeil on defense, and Tyrone Taylor taking an awesome play in the field and realizing that that's what we need. We need Mendoza to start making some better managing decisions. He had a rough day out there, putting Stanek out there a couple days and some other relievers leaving him out there when he had plenty of options like Max Kranick.
Stanek's been so good. You can't blame him for that.
He didn't. No, I'm not. It wasn't. Honestly, that wasn't even the move. It was leaving other guys like even Reed Garrett in instead of bringing, Max Kranick in or, and all the other stuff.
Or even only pitching Senga 4 innings. Let him try and tough out another 2 innings, right?
Because
I was surprised that he told them.
That is what's going to be the biggest detriment to this Mets team is the wear on this bullpen because these starters, you have to start getting into the 6th and 7th inning, finishing them. We're not talking about 4 1/3, 5 innings pitched, 7 innings. And it's rain delays. Oh, no, Holmes had a rain delay, so we had to go up and down a bunch of times. So he pitched 70 pitches in a rain delay.
Yeah, but great start. Senga's getting 6 days off, right? He can't go 5. I know he didn't have his good stuff. But he had 6 strikeouts. He still had some kind of stuff going. He wasn't completely lost. They were hitting the ball hard, but he could have chopped it out another inning, maybe 2. Get him to the 6th inning because you're going to kill your bullpen, and then you're going to have games where you don't want to play Diaz.
You got a quick inning. See if it started off. Maybe you get a ground ball early.
Give him a leadoff hitter.
And all of a sudden he had and he was at whatever it was, like 88 pitches or something like that. Let him go pitch into the 90s and see if great. He lets a guy on, take him out, and gives your bullpen maybe a little bit longer to even warm up. I don't think he sees that these games are so important in that bullpen game that we were at where the Mets go up 3-2. I really think he didn't have that killer instinct in the let's get these guys in. Let's get Diaz in this game. Let's get Kranick in this game.
He went 2 minutes with 2 innings with Brazoban to start. And he pitched
yeah.
well. He got out of it.
He pitched well. No, they got everything. See, when if they were punting that game, but the point when Waddell comes out of that game and we're standing ovation, that's the moment where you need to not. He was still punting it. And that was not the spot. And I know he's not really punting the game and whatever. You have faith in all these guys. He bred other options. He wanted to give them a day's rest, and that's fine. You give him a day's rest when you're up by 6, which we saw happened in a few other games in the week. And now all of a sudden you get yourself in a spot where Diaz hasn't pitched in a week and a half. You could have got the rest in on other guys. We could have put him in on those ninth inning, at least one of those spots. So, listen, he doesn't miss many times. Mendoza had a little bit of rough time in the Diamondback series. I hope that's not what we're seeing. I think it's, hope more of a seeing, let's get as many games of advantage. We had a rough time making up for it last year. Let's get some games ahead of these guys. Which is important.
But and also to be fair, we're not with the team. We're not in the locker room. We don't know everything that's going on. I didn't know. I was sitting there screaming and yelling, why is Nimmo not in the lineup after 9 RBIs? Yes. Turns out he was sick. I didn't know that. You didn't know that. So, I mean, you want us to report this accurately, Mets. Get us more press passes and into the lineup.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
A little echo just out of nowhere.
Is it still echo? Oh, hold on.
All right now. You're all right.
Okay, good.
Keep going. We're good.
All right, so there we go. Now tomorrow, of course, Blade Tidwell is going to make his major league debut. Another big Mets prospect. Brett, what do you think about that? The pitching, we got this pitching school or whatever going on.
No, I'm in. I like that we've learned that they exactly the guys have come up. We had it with Waddell. All of a sudden they say we're going to keep him up and we're going to let him, get kind of into this rotation. If that's what they're going to do, the 6-man rotation, we're going to need one of these guys. So it's like all these there's some tryouts. We have some major league tryouts going on. But what we have is you got Tidwell down in the minors, 1-2, 5 ERA, but the guy's got 37 strikeouts in 27 innings. Really can't complain about that. We'll see what we get out of tomorrow. 6'4", 207, hard-throwing righty. Listen, I don't know exactly what tomorrow brings for Tidwell, but I do know the other guy pitching tomorrow is McGill. So, listen, we get 1 out of 2 tomorrow.
Today. This was the starting lineup for today, by the way. Yeah. This was going to be the starting lineup, but the game rained out. The doubleheader tomorrow. I don't like doubleheaders because you know what? You usually split them.
No,
right?
You're gonna get. Yeah, you're not gonna. Yeah, exactly. And you're not gonna get your best lineup in. No matter what. And it's gonna come down to a guy like Blake Tidwell. You're gonna see what you get out of your starter tomorrow. And how does McGill go on an extra day's rest? Blade Tidwell.
How many people call him Blake, you think? I was calling him Blake.
I know. I like 3 times. I'm the one who told you earlier, don't call him Blake.
Yeah, I'm just glad I didn't right. But listen, you know what? The Mets are killing it with this pitching school that they have going on, right? They're bringing up all these prospects. I know that Sproat is getting kind of beat up in AAA, which is a little worrisome for me, I think, because he's so good. He dominates those lower level of the minor leagues. And then same thing last year. He hit AAA. And he hit a wall. And then this year he was so good it was only 2 innings in spring training. I get that, but now he hit the wall. Does he really? And he's apparently losing velocity, which to me sounds like it's going to be a Tommy John situation by the end of the year, right? That's where we go to now.
Do you know what they're talking though? And so now that's where you have the thing is, they're talking, maybe he's one of the guy who goes for Sandy Alcantara, and they're talking that maybe he's one of the guys who. Right, and he's one of the guys who are the pieces that if that's what's going to happen, maybe they do see that. Now, I don't know. Maybe the Marlins see that too. But that's just part of the, some of these other guys that you have.
You can get Alcantara. He's under control for a couple more years. It's not like
he's having a rough go right now.
Yeah,
he's having a rough go right now, which means you're getting good value. If you're ever going to get good value on him, this is the moment you're going to get some type of good value on him.
Yeah, sucks for the Marlins.
Yeah,
right? It sucks for the Marlins that he's not pitching well. So what are you gonna do?
Oh no, exactly. And now it's like, well, you have to have a decision because one way or the other it's going. But we'll see who wants to, pony up the money for him or the players for him. But honestly, you look at somebody. I'm looking forward to seeing Tyler McGill tomorrow. The guy's been pitching pretty well. He's a story that last year I think was one of the guys who helped us one of the most down the stretch, which we wasn't even really in the rotation. And then all of a sudden he had to step up big for us in a couple starts late. And let me tell you, he did it, and he did it in clutch time. He's shown now he's come right out of the gate doing the exact same thing this year. He's not perfect, but let me tell you, I see big things for Tyler McGill and being a big part of his rotation. And he can, he seems, knock on wood, to avoid, like a lot of people, like we just talked about, the injury bugs. So, I think it's some of the sleepers in this Mets rotation. It's not going to be the Sengas and, it's the Peterson and the guys who, man, they're just
and
it's different, very unexpected.
We were
very
dead
unexpected.
Wrong. Now I was saying that because obviously we're all looking at it like we caught lightning in the bottle twice. Again with the pitching, we thought this was going to be the crux of this team and it was going to be a problem. But maybe we didn't catch lightning in the bottle. Maybe Stearns is just smarter than all of us, and he saw it coming because he was never worried. Everyone kept asking him about the pitching, and even the bullpen. Up until like maybe the last week, but it's not going to be perfect. They're unbelievable, Brett. The numbers, and I have them right here. That they have a, here it is, right? Hold on, I got it right here. So the pitching staff has gone 33 consecutive games without allowing four or more runs. Okay, they lead the majors with a 2.69 ERA. They have 5 shutouts. Already, the Mets had like 9 shutouts last year. They have 5 already this year. We just hit May. The pitching has been incredible. Up until 2 days ago, they went 13 or 14 straight games without allowing a home run.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable. And if we could get these kids up, and we're missing Minaya, right? We're missing. What? Maybe he's just smarter than us because he wasn't worried. Stearns wasn't worried.
And Kranick, it just you get leaving guy. Everybody stays on base when Kranick comes in. And a guy like that who, if you don't know, Kranick's also a guy, he's going to be a little bit of a Seth Lugo situation, Clay Holmes situation next year because he is I'm a starter, want to be a starter. And so we might be getting into that. But to have a guy like that out of nowhere.
Those are the problems we want to have, Brett. Those are the problems we want to have.
I love it. No, I love it. Especially when a guy like A.J. Minter's going down. The Mets are, they're going to have to figure Danny Young going down, and both of which could be out for the year. We're going to need obviously need arms. They're not lefties, but we're going to need a lefty coming in soon. So
listen, it's not the bullpen. The team's not going to look like this when we hit September anyway. That's just the nature of the beast. So the Mets coming into today, the rain out today. Tomorrow, doubleheader. The Mets 22-11 against the Cardinals, who are 5 games under 500, really struggling. 6 games back. The Mets are 3.5 games ahead of the Phillies, who blew a shot to pick up some games on the Mets. In the last couple of days, they lost to the Nationals in a bad loss. Mets still 3.5 up. I'd like it to be a little bit more, right? The 22-11. You'd like to be a little 6 games up, but it is what it is.
Especially when we're talking about them like they're like the hottest team in baseball, and oh my god, and they're playing out of their minds right now. And you go, you're 3.5 up. That's what you are when you're 3.5 up. It's kind of like last year when we talked about how bad the Mets were, how bad we were, but we weren't that far back. You know what I mean? Like, we were bad. Like, if you looked, you were like, this team has no chance. You couldn't see anything that was, like, promising. But the truth was, they weren't that far back. So it's like you just have just enough, like, space. So, honestly, you need to, like we talked about earlier today, you need to separate yourself and win these games. And you need to realize that you need to, like, really in those one games you need to care about it, even though it may be like, oh, it's just one game and let's get somebody some rest. I don't believe in that. I feel like it's like now's the time. These guys, if they're going to get injured, they're probably going to get injured anyway, and they may not even be on our team. So let's put them down now.
So we'll be with you tomorrow. This is we're gonna do it's a Mets Extra whenever we can. It's not gonna be every single game, but whenever we can, we'll do a quick pregame, postgame, whatever we can do. Yep. When we're not out there serving the city and the county, Brett, because that's what we do for a living. We serve the city and we serve the county.
Trust me, after spending way too many hours in jail this week, I was looking forward to a Mets game.
I'm going back to jail.
They throw a rain out on me. Now I had to spend my entire Sunday.
I've been on vacation for 2 weeks. I'm going back to jail.
So that's rough. I got next weekend. I got a nice long 5-day weekend next weekend. It'll be a nice Mets Cubs series. I'll be there for a couple of those games. So looking forward to it.
Back to the clink for me. So
have fun.
That does it for us. This is a vehicle of Locked Up Sports. It's Mets Extra. It's the pre and post game. The rain out today. Tomorrow is going to be a doubleheader. And don't forget, you can always find us YouTube. Any way you get your podcast, leave us a review. Brett,
check out our new one. Check out our new one. We got a little Locked Up Mets on X, Twitter. Locked Up Mets. You'll see it. We're just doing kind of because, you know, we have Locked Up Sports, and you're going to get a lot of Knicks and Jets and Giants and everything else in it. Just Mets, Locked Up Mets. We know this is the time of year. We're going to have a good season. So, listen.
We're trying to be Dolans here. We're trying to be the Dolans. So start a whole, you know.
Oh, this is it, Mob. This is it. It's Locked Up Sports is a multimedia, you know, conglomerate at this point, and let's focus on just different things and have it. Listen, it's Mets
Brett,
season.
we dropped the ball. We dropped the ball on the art. I forgot the art again today. We got to do this because we'll do that tomorrow. I'll talk to you as soon as we finish that. We're gonna get rid of it. We got these great art pictures, paintings. A homeless guy painted them. We're trying to help him out, get his name out there. He's excellent.
You don't even know. He might even have a home by now. He's pretty good. Yeah, you don't even know.
The way he paints these things, wait till you see him. But we'll figure out how to give him away. So that does it for us. We're going to go do Nick's show. Catch that later. That'll be a
doubleheader tomorrow.
Doubleheader tomorrow. For Brett Grasso, I'm Bob Walters from the Brian Gunzel Studios. See ya.